In this video, we're going to talk about percent, and I'm going to go over problems 19 to 21. It says Quam is on the basketball team and is practicing free throws. He records his total number of attempts and his number of successful free throws for 3 days. The results are in the table below. Based on the information in the first 2 rows, on which day do you think Quinn performed best? And which day do you think was his worst day? So I want you to pause here and to look at his numbers and come up with the answer. All right, so just looking at the number in successful throws on day 1, he has 24, day 215, day 3, 28. It looks like day 3 was the most successful, just looking at the numbers. But then looking at the total attempts, like day 2, it looks like, just by judging by the numbers of successful throws, day 2 seems like the worst day. But if you look at the total attempts, it looks like he didn't throw very much. He didn't have very many attempts, right? So, and 15 of them were successful. Now, on day 3, for example, he had twice as many attempts, but he didn't have twice as many successful throws, right? So by looking at those ratios, we could say that day 2 was actually better than day 3, right? Interesting. So let's fill out this table. It's asking us to fill out the ratio of successful throws to total attempts. So on day 1, it was 24 to 30, which simplifies to 12 over 15. Okay. For day 2, we had 15 out of 20, which simplifies by a factor of 5. So we have 3/4. And on day 3, it was 28 out of 40, which simplifies to 7 out of 10. Okay. So we got our ratios, but it's kind of like difficult to compare because all of them have different denominators. So we cannot really compare fractions with different denominators. It's kind of like, it's similar to what we're looking at here, where the total attempts are all different. So here, the number that represents the whole thing is different. And that's why they're asking us to find the equivalent ratio out of 100. So that means that we need a common denominator of 100. Okay, let's see. I'm going to start with the last one. How do we make 100 out of 10? By multiplying it by 10, right? So, but remember, when we did this to the denominator, we have to do that to the numerator as well. So we get 70 out of 100, or that means 70%. So on day 3, he got 70% successful throws. Okay, what about day 2? So to make 100 out of 4, I have to multiply that by 25. I'm going to multiply this. I'm going to do the same thing to the numerator, which will give me 75. So 75 out of 100 is actually 75%. Okay, so obviously day 2 was better than day 3. Okay, now making a fraction with the denominator 100 here is a little tricky, because in order to make 15 out of 100, right? 100, oops, 100 divided by 15 will give me 6.666 in repetition. So I'm gonna multiply by it, yes. 6.6 repeated. I have to multiply the 12 by the same thing. Let's multiply that by 12, and I get 80. Okay, so 80. So that's 80%. So now, can you tell which day was the most successful and which day was the least successful? When we converted numbers into percentages, it's more obvious, isn't it? Okay. 21. Based on the information in the last 2 rows, on which day do you think Kwame performed best? And okay, so it looks like day 1 was the best. Which do you think was the worst day? Explain. Is this different from your original analysis in part A? Okay, I'm gonna let you answer those questions by yourself, because I don't know what you guessed at the beginning. So I'm gonna leave it blank, and we're gonna move on to our next example.